The most common use of write-back in analysis services is in financial analytics, whether working on budgets by department or forecasting revenue and expenses. Before users commit to a final budget or forecast, they might go through several iterations of planning and can use write-back to support that process. Data normally becomes part of a cube when events occur that we want to track, such as sales or general ledger entries. If we have multiple versions of budgets or forecasts that we want to keep separate during the planning process, we can also use dimension write-back to create a name that we use to track each version. For example, we might have a scenario dimension where each member is either associated with actual data or a specific version of a budget or forecast. Dimension write-back allows the user to add a new member to a dimension, but only in Enterprise Edition. In the demonstration later, we'll see how to do this using the development interface. But in a production environment, a client tool that supports dimension write-back is required, whether you purchase a third-party tool or develop a custom application to do this. Now, regardless of the specific tool, Analysis Services updates the relational source immediately with the new dimension member. For this reason, you can use dimension write-back only with a dimension that has a single table or an updatable view as its source. An incremental update then gets the data from the relational source to update the Analysis Services database, and any subsequent queries to get dimension data include the new member. There's no separate storage of dimension members that get added in this way. Likewise, a client tool supporting write-back is required to update a cell, in other words, fact data. If we want to add data to the cube to describe what we expect or would like to see happen, we can use write-back to update values in a measure group at the intersection of selected dimension members. Now, typically, data is captured for the write-back process at a high level, such as quarter, and needs to be allocated to leaf-level members such as days, and Analysis Services can handle all of this for us. Analysis Services stores the write-back data in a separate roll-up partition, regardless of the way that we're storing data in the cube. In fact, the write-back process updates a relational table that's completely separate from any sources for your fact data. And then it performs an incremental process of the MOLAP partition in your Analysis Services database to bring it up to date to match the source. But any queries to the cube bring data back from the MOLAP partition only. So a key difference between dimension write-back and cell write-back is that the dimension write-back puts the new dimension members directly into the source table, whereas with cell write-back, there's a completely different table, and the data that it stores is not the value that you enter as the write-back value, but it stores the difference between what's currently in the cell and the value that you want it to be.